Fellas, Afrikaners of South Africa have refused Donald Trump's offer to relocate to the United States of America. Shocking. I remember many years ago in an African country, this lady, a mama, she was very much complaining about her son. So mama is something we use for most of everybody's mother, okay? We don't really say auntie. I mean, if you hear that, that started very recently when you guys wanted to become like white people. So in most cases in Africa, if you see a lady that's old enough to be a mother, you're probably going to call her mama. Or somebody's mother, your friend's mother, you're not going to call her Auntie Janet or Auntie Josephine or auntie whatever. In most cases it's mama. If the culture is good, it's mama. If you hear auntie, they're probably westernized. So we call each other's mother mama, basically. So even a strange mom you see her on the street, strange auntie, you're probably going to say, hey mama, can I help you? Anyway, let's get back on track. So remember in an African country, this lady, this mama was very, 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 very unhappy with the child, the boy child. He was a teenager. The boy was very, very difficult. It was very difficult. It was about that age where he stole money from his mother, took things, stole jewelry to go resell because he wanted to be cool. Sometimes just to buy clothes and shoes and sneakers. Sometimes just because he was going through an adolescent crisis. He was a difficult kid. I remember this guy clearly. So this lady was so upset, so unhappy with her own child that she decided to call the police on him because he will take the bit of money that she had. She was struggling. She was selling tomatoes and potatoes to make a living. And this boy will come home and steal the very money that she made so she can pay his school fees and give him food. So she was upset. And she was hoping that the police would come and intimidate the boy, and the boy would probably get scared and stop doing what he was doing, which was detrimental in any way. Well, the police came. And unfortunately, the police did not hear the order. Because the boy was a bit of a stubborn boy, the police started beating on this boy bad. The police screamed at the boy, they beat on him bad because they asked him to get in the car. He refused. He started screaming the name of his mother. Mother, mother. Yeah, the police pick him up. I don't know if that boy did not get the scripture or didn't understand the orders, but they beat that boy really bad. The mother came running outside crying. Why did you hurt my boy this way? He didn't do anything. Why did you hurt my boy? Well, as much as you're right to say, why did they hurt your boy? You gave him up, mama. Okay, you gave them the authority. He didn't steal anybody's money. Okay, he didn't steal anybody's potato or tomato. He didn't steal anybody's jewelry. He stole yours because you're his mother. Not to say that he wasn't going to become a thief in the future. Maybe he was going to be a thief, but at that specific time when you called the police on him, he took things from you. Okay, because he felt like you wouldn't do anything to him anyway. The bottom line is they beat that boy really bad. They hurt him. His face was bruised and stuff. That was sad because unfortunately, the outcome that she wanted was not the result she got. It was much worse. In South Africa, there's a report that many white people are being genocided. So there is a group of people that's been saying out loud that many white people are genocide, being killed in the farms. Even though the farm killing happened, we don't know if we can talk about a genocide. Genocide is when you're targeting a specific group of people and finishing them one by one by one. That's a genocide. Donald Trump, as you will know, signed the order to cut off aid of South Africa. Why? Because he heard of a story about expropriation of land by the President Cyril Ramaphosa. The expropriation of land just means taking land from white people and giving the land to the black people. Now, historically, white people took land from black people in South Africa. And up until now, reports say that 3/4 of the land in South Africa belong to white people, even though white people only account to 7.2% of the population of South Africa. So the blacks of South Africa feel like, you know what? It's about time. Let's get some of the lands. I mean, you took the majority of the land. Some of the land is not developed at all. It's just like 375 like soccer field open that belong to one person who has done absolutely nothing with it. How about we take some of this land and allocate it to the government so the government can perhaps build something, profitable for everybody, both blacks and whites and Indians and Chinese. Okay, yeah, there are Chinese in South Africa too. Anyway, let's get back on track. How about we take the land and use it for something that's going to benefit us? Now, apparently, this group of people are not happy with that. And therefore, they've been putting pressure. They've been going around with this narrative that white people are being killed and genocide in South Africa. Now, coming with all this information that Donald Trump had, without necessarily doing a thorough investigation, he decided to cut off aid to South Africa. Signing to take land was purely racist toward white people.
It's only South Africa. Terrible things are happening in South Africa. The leadership is doing some terrible things, horrible things. So that's under investigation right now. We'll make a determination. And until such time as we find out what South Africa is doing, they're taking away land, they're confiscating land, and actually they're doing things that are perhaps far worse than that.
And on the back.
So Donald Trump offered Afrikaners home in America. Obviously, I mean, if you are being genocided, if you're being killed, if you're being unalived, then you have home here. You can come here, right? So you can come very quickly. We're going to make it easy for you. In other words, Donald Trump, upon entering office, stopped all demand of refugees from any other places in the world. He stopped it. So no refugee from no other country can come to the United States of America. But he is particularly open for white South Africans, especially Afrikaners. Now, up until now, fellas, hear what the Afrikaners have to say.
Yeah, why would you want to go? There hasn't been any really bad taking over of land. The people are carrying on like normal. And, what are you going to do over there?
We have to state categorically, we don't want to move elsewhere.
We may disagree with the ANC, but we love the country. As in any community, there are individuals who wish to immigrate, but the repatriation of Afrikaners as refugees is not a solution for us. We want to build a future in South Africa.
No, they don't want to go. It sounds very much like the story of a lady who called the police on a child after the police punched the child in the face. Then she said, no, this is not what I asked for. I didn't say he was a criminal like that. I just said do something so he can fear. But you've gone overboard. How has they gone overboard? But because, right now they've cut aid of South Africa. South Africa used to receive about $500 million in aid coming from America. Now this aid is very specific. This aid, including PEPFAR, profit in majority to black people of South Africa. Not necessarily, not a lot of white people profit from this. Somebody believed that Donald Trump's move was not necessarily in order to help white people, but it was mostly to punish black people. Listen to what this lady has to say.
In fact, his approach is racist. He's going for the PEPFAR, for the fight against HIV and AIDS. Why? Because in the mind of Trump, HIV and AIDS in South Africa affects black people. Those are the people that he seeks to punish because the government, the Sixth Parliament of South Africa, took a resolution to expel the embassy of Israel from our country and to take Israel to the International Court of Justice. That's what it is. Anything else is just a lie.
Okay, as you can hear here, she says PEPFAR, which is help to mostly people living with HIV and tuberculosis, is something that profits mostly black people of South Africa, because it is believed that the majority of people that have HIV in South Africa are black people. Let me just remind you here that the report says that about 8 million people in South Africa live with HIV, and it is also believed that the majority of these people are black in race. Now, PEPFAR, in most cases, in this case, will be helping black people. This is something very interesting, she says. She says if he really wanted to punish South Africa as its whole, he would have touched AGOA as well. But he has not touched AGOA. He has only touched PEPFAR.
I'll tell you something. If Trump was serious, he was going to reconsider the trade embargoes, trade deals that are there between South Africa and the US. First one was going to be AGOA. Why is not going there? Because he knows who are the people who will be first and foremost directly affected by those. It will be the Afrikaners who are the ones who are controlling the means of production in this country. So he's not going for them. He's not going for that.
Now, what is AGOA? AGOA is a program that the United States of America has with many countries in the world, especially African countries, which helps African countries to export their good. Whether you have something to sell in agriculture or whatever that is, you can go sell in America with no tariffs, expanding your market. You can get more clients in America and sell, which is good and beneficial for many African nations. South Africa, for instance, exports cars to the United States of America. They export agriculture products to the United States of America and many other things. Now, the lady says, why doesn't he cut off AGOA if you really want to punish South Africa? Well, many people believe the reason why he's not cutting off AGOA because the profiteers of AGOA in most cases are white South Africans. Okay, most of the farmers are white and probably Afrikaners, which is a good thing. Most of the people whose industry profit from AGOA are mostly Afrikaners, not black. So the punishment is very much targeted. Let's target the blacks because they have TB and HIV. Let's cut off TB and HIV. Let them suffer, shithole country. But let's leave AGOA happening, even though white people are being genocided, quote unquote, in South Africa. So this is what it is, fellas. Now, fellas, what's interesting right now is that the group that lobbied Trump's previous administration about the cause said, no, we don't want to take up the offer of Donald Trump. Let me remind you here, people that lobbied to Trump to save white people in South Africa are not all white people. A very small specific group of people that not every white person in South Africa identifies with. Some people believe that this group of people are people that were privileged during apartheid. They had the big lands, they had the offers, they had the riches, they had the opportunities. Well, now that you have to live in an equal South Africa, it feels not adequate for them to be sharing things fairly with people that used to be under them a long time ago. This is what they say. We agree with the ANC. We love our country. As a community, there are individuals who wish to immigrate, but repatriation of Afrikaners as refugees is not a solution. Not a solution for us. We don't want our children to go and learn other languages in America. We want them to stay in South Africa because this is where, now, even though we are being genocided, we're going to stay.
Just 2 days ago, a few hours ago, around about 1:30, AfriForum and Solidarity, the two biggest racist organizations in this country who are lobbying for such sanctions to be imposed against South Africa, have rejected that offer and said that they are not going to go and leave South Africa. Why? Because they know that when they go to America, they are going to become real second-class citizens. They are going to become landless hobos. And all the white privileges that they enjoy for being citizens of South Africa are going to be taken away from them.
Don't you think this feels a little bit like that lady that called the police on her son? Then the son got punched too hard by the police. Then she's like, this is not what I called you for. Let me know how you feel about this. It's always a great pleasure. God bless.